Hi guys, welcome back. Today, let's look at this problem truncate sentence. It says a sentence is a list of words that are separated by a single space with no leading or trailing spaces. Okay, that's a very general statement. Next, it says each of the words consists of only uppercase and lowercase English letters, no punctuation. So that makes our life much more simpler. So it has given an example. Hello world is a sentence. Hello is a sentence. Hello world are some example of those sentences. So we are given a sentence S and an integer K. We need to truncate S such that it contains only the first K words. And then we have to return S after truncating it. Okay, that's the problem statement. Let's look at some examples. So here the example is hello, how are you contestant? And we have to return the first four words. So the output is very, uh, we can easily guess that. That's hello, how are you? Let's look one more example. What is the solution to this problem? So if we are asked to return first four words of this sentence, it would be what is the solution? Similarly for the third example as well. So now before jumping into the solution, I would highly recommend you to try out this problem and come up with a brute force solution. This will really help you to train your brain for in the future to solve such problems. So pause this video and think of a brute force solution. Now, I hope you have given it a shot. So let's think of a very brute force solution. So for example, if we are given, forget about the string. So if we are given an array and we are asked to extract the first k elements of that array, what would our approach be? Yeah, quite simple. We'll iterate through the first k elements of that array and copy that into a separate array and return that resultant array. Now, can you think of this string and can you think of a way to convert this string into an array? Yes, you guessed it right. It's the split function that is used to extract each and every word of a sentence into a separate, based on a delimiter. In our case, it's a space into a separate array. So if we extract each word in a separate array, and we can then return the first keywords by joining that into a string, and then finally return it. So the time complexity would be order of n and space complexity would be also an order of n since we are storing each and every word into a separate array. Now before moving forward, I would like to ask you, can we optimize this solution from a space complexity point of view? Yes, we can definitely. The catch is, do we really need all the words to store in an array? Or just the first k elements or the k words in this case? Or do we even need to store that into an array? Give it a thought. If you want, you can pause the video. Actually, we don't need to store all the words into an array. A better approach would be I'll have a variable which is my word count, which is initially 0, and I'll traverse my resultant string or the input string character by character. And once I encounter a space, that means the word has ended and I'll increment my word count. And then I'll check if my word count equals to k, that is my input value, then I'll break out of that while loop which I use to traverse each and every character. If it is not equal to k, then I'll increment or I'll go to the next character. And then finally, if it is equals to k, I'll return the resultant string from 0 to that particular index. So this is my optimized solution. So let's code it and then we'll talk about its time and space complexity. So let's have a word count variable. Let word. count equals to 0. And then we have a resultant string, which is which would be used to return my result. It's empty initially. And then we have a variable to traverse my characters. While I is less than s dot length, so here I'll check if my si character at ith index equals to a space, then that means the word has ended and I'll increment my word count. Now I'll check if my word count equals to 0. I'm sorry, equals to k, then I'll break. So that this is quite understandable. Now if it is not the case, that is if my word count is not equals to k, then I'll move on to my next character. And this would come inside a complete block. Now let's extract the result into my result variable. So result equals to s dot splice 0 to I. So splice generally does not changes the s string, but it returns a new string with characters from 0 to I excluding I. So, and then we will finally return my result. Let's run this code. S dot slice. It should be slice, not splice. Yeah. Now let's submit this. Yeah. Our solution passed all the test cases. Now, if we talk about the space and time complexity, the time complexity is order of 1, since in the worst case we would be traversing each and every character of the string. And space complexity is order of 1, because we are not using any extra space to in our solution. Yeah, so that's it, guys. This is the optimal solution that I could think of. If you find any optimal solution then do share in the comments and do let me know. Thank you, and always keep smiling.